Mike, obviously a tough spot for a rookie like Tyler Zuber to be in.
Can't hear you, Flan.
Obviously a tough spot for a rookie like Tyler Zuber to be in there.
Flannery, can you start over? I'm sorry, we were muted.
Skip, obviously a tough spot for a rookie like Tyler Zuber to be in the 10th there.
Yeah, could have been a guy making his debut. So I mean, we're down to just a couple players, and thought he did a really nice job of shutting down the running game right there and making a few good pitches, getting us the one out. And you're talking about a guy that's coming on to prove to be a really good hitter. Got just enough of it, but he was pounding the strike zone and making quality pitches.
Overall, I mean, obviously these are three really, really tough losses, but just your feeling on how this team is playing right now. They're fighting, obviously, right to the end.
They're playing hard. They're playing hard, and it's fairly clean baseball. We had a little miscue early in the game that could have gone either way and didn't end up hurting us. To me, to be able to watch Kris Bubic take his game to another level, that was, to me, his best. Not the fact that he went longer. He just was more efficient in the zone. He was using the bottom of the zone, which made his change better. I thought he had better fastball command, and I know there's even another level, and he does too. And that's going to change a whole lot of things for him when he can start working strike one with multiple pitches, especially with a fastball. But he kept us right in that game. And next pick away, get a little opportunity. Whit gets us an RBI, and then jumps the gate to put us right into having the excitement at the end. And Holly comes in, does a nice job with the whole bullpen. I mean, we're looking at 8 strikeouts from Bubic and probably another 5 or 6 from the bullpen, and coming in big situations, getting the job done. It was overall really good effort.
And obviously you had to feel pretty good about Monty's chances of stealing third there, as opposed to, giving up an out there, especially going lefty on lefty with Valori up next.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we are. You've got an elite base stealer. Let him hunt one down, find a good spot to go. If not, you got a lefty in Lopez that handles the bat pretty good, and we feel that he can get something rolled to the right side to give us a chance. But, you surrendering out there, and then you're putting all your eggs in the basket of lefty on lefty with Valoria to put the ball in play. And I'd rather take a couple shots and then, still have Whit to be able to come up and make something happen. But, it didn't work out this time. But, I like the way the guys are going about it.
You talked about the bullpen too, and a name we kind of skip over sometimes is Jake Newberry and the job he did tonight. Not just and Stamont and everybody else, but just him coming in and putting it that far.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him up, because this guy has come in some pretty big spots for a guy that we've kind of bounced up and down all season. And he comes in those big situations, and he knows how to use that slider really well, and he's got a sneaky good fastball that he's smart with. And to be able to get out of a couple binds for us multiple times now, Jake's been very valuable. And also to talk about Kyle Zimmer going out there for his 3rd day in a row and looking sharp again. Then obviously Stamont and Holly all coming through right there. But we're really happy with the way the bullpen's starting to take on some of those roles we talked about. Are going to be opportunities now that we either have guys that are out or we have guys that just need a little time to recoup.
And you were just down to Zuber and Rosario at the end there, right? Everybody had to be shut down, right?
Hernandez. So
and Carlos, yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, talk about a tough spot to put him in there, but we're going to go with him. He was going to get in that game, and I know he was ready for it. But that would have been an interesting debut with the new rules to come into an inning with a guy at second base for your debut. But you know what? This is major leagues, and he'd be ready for that. And I was excited to actually see it. But wanted to give Zuber a chance to come through and, got the one out. And it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. It really is. And, I think it's a level of excitement in the game. I still think the overall rules, even though when it doesn't work out for us, I still say it's good for the game because it does protect your pitching.
Thanks, Skip.
All right.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mike, in the 9th with Bubba on first and O'Hearn at the plate, was the opportunity not there for Bubba to make a run at second, or was it Colome's time home?
Yeah, we were keeping close tracks of his time, trying to pick a good pitch to do. I mean, you're watching Dyson do the same thing at second base. You know, he's hunting it down. How can I figure out the right pitch, the right count? You know, try to get a breaking ball. Wait, maybe when they get something in the dirt, or if they slow down, or get a higher leg kick. I mean, all those things are part of hunting down the stolen base. And like the opportunity right there with Bubba to, one, take a bag, and two, increase our odds of scoring on a ball in the gap or down the lines. And we've got a weapon at our disposal, and Bubba's speed. Let's use it to try and win the game instead of wait around and have some of those pieces just sitting there.
Whit, I know obviously these are three really devastating losses, but is there any consolation in how you guys keep fighting at the end? I know there are no moral victories in this, but you guys obviously just keep battling.
Yeah. You know, it's obviously we feel like we're a better team than we were last year. We got some guys taking step forwards. Are really happy with the way our staff has been throwing the ball. You know, we got to do a better job finding ways to win, and that's what we got to do to take that next step forward. Is figure out how to win games like this, and hopefully this will be a learning experience. And next time we're in a situation like this, we can figure out a way to come across with the win.
Speaking of the pitching there too, what are your overall thoughts on Bubic and the job that Newberry did and Zim and you know, go right down the line?
I thought Bubic did a good job. I thought he's continuing to learn, continuing to figure out at this level what he needs to do to be effective. And felt like he threw the ball well today, and our bullpen came in and did what they've been doing for most of the year. And it's getting guys out throwing strikes. So positive to see. Newberry threw well, Zim threw well, and Greg came in and faced some guys that put together some good at bats off him, but he found a way to win those battles. So bullpen's been great.
Were you thinking first pitch fastball or sinker on that pitch from CSAC?
Yeah, I know he kind of likes to establish in to let that slider play off it. So I just wanted to make sure if he threw that first one in that I was ready for it and didn't miss it. So that's what happened.
Everybody good?
Hey, Whit, their starter Dunning. I know he hasn't had a whole lot of track record, but what did you see from him that was giving you guys such a tough time in the first five?
I mean, he's a guy we haven't seen before. His arm slot's a little different. It's a little lower. He kind of pushes the ball a little bit, and it's got good run to it that doesn't quite show up on video. So the video we watched on him, it looked like he had a little bit of run, but you step in the box and it's moving in on your hands pretty good. So between that and he had his slider working pretty good today. It was pretty tight. But it was the first time we've seen the guy. So, hopefully next time we'll have a better feel for what he's got, what he looks like, and can put together some better at-bats off him.
Kris, your skippers thought that was your best outing as a big leaguer. Did you feel the same way?
I'd say it was definitely a step up from the last few outings. Pitch count obviously still elevated a bit higher than I would like, but overall, really from first pitch, I tried to establish my fastball as best I can and not try to do too much too early. Kind of let myself know that I could command my fastball in, out, up, down, whatever, and then as I kind of went along, can add a little if I need to. But the whole day I wasn't really trying to do too much, trying to attack as best I could. Would like to get ahead still more than I have been, but always areas for improvement going forward.
Having said that, though, too, how much confidence did it give you to get out of that third inning, just limiting the damage to one run?
Big. Keeping our team in the game that's my primary task when I go out there, is to give us a chance to win, and we were right in it, obviously the whole day. But getting out of there, just ones don't necessarily hurt as bad as big crooked numbers. So really limiting them to one there is huge. And defense was great today. Galley was really good behind the plate. So glad I could rely on them, especially that inning.
Thanks, Kris.
Hey, Kris, you were talking about that third inning. I wonder for you, when you get to the point of two guys in scoring position, I think one out. But at that point also, I think the hardest hit ball in the inning had actually been the ground out. So does that change your mentality in terms of just like, it's not like they're all right on your pitches? I mean, you're still throwing it pretty well.
It doesn't necessarily change anything for me. The biggest thing I take away, and I keep hitting at it, both the innings they scored, second and third, just me not getting ahead, and then putting myself in spots where, sure, maybe it's weak contact, but they get just enough of it to get it over the infield or past the infield or down the line, whatever it is. So if I can avoid being behind in the count, I mean, I can live with soft contact all day, even chilling at 90, 91 for most part today, and throwing a lot of changeups again. If I can live with the soft contact, but I could make my life a lot easier if I was ahead in that situation.
And did anything, I don't want to say anything clicked for you, but I mean, I think after you get out of that inning, you went on a roll, 1, 2, 3 inning right after that. I mean, did you feel like, you'd gotten to a little bit of a rhythm there? And I don't know if you were conscious of, okay, you got to try and get deep there, or what was your thought process?
For sure. Always trying to pitch as deep as I can, as long as, I mean, I'll go out there and give it my all until they take the ball from me. But definitely, like I alluded to before, I wouldn't say trying to feel my fastball command early, but trying to let myself know to be in good rhythm. My fastball staying true. I'm not yanking or I'm not flying open. And I found that early, and then kind of as I went along, felt more comfortable to really get in a good rhythm. And like I said, Galley was really good behind the plate, staying with me, and we had a good week of preparation coming in. So that was a big focus this week, and I think that carried into the outing a little bit today.
Hey, Kris, Matheny mentioned, he said he knows you've got another gear and you have another gear. Just how confident are you that there is obviously that next step?
Yeah. In terms of tapping into an extra gear kind of when I need it, maybe in terms of velocity, like I know I have a 4 or 5 or even a 6 in the tank if I need it. But what am I most effective at? And I'm most effective when I'm locating, let's say at 90, 92, 93, not trying to do too much, and keeping things simple. And then, I mean, I pride myself just on being durable and being available every 5-6 days. So for me, the mindset, I guess it's just a mindset thing. Like, I know my pitch count's been high, but all through college, my pitch counts were high, and I never really paid too much attention to that. And I wouldn't say I get extremely fatigued at a certain point. But definitely nice to know I have an extra gear to get to. It'd be nicer to, like I said, make my life a little easier though.
Hey, Jake, just tell us how difficult it's been to have a role like you've had this year, where you've been up and down, and you can come into a game at any moment, and how difficult that is as a reliever to stay focused and do the job.
I think I've kind of done that my whole career, where I've come into any situation early in games, late in games. So once I became a reliever, I kind of just had to realize you can come in at any point. You got to be ready, whether it's a 1-run ball game or if it's for a few innings in a 3 or 4-run ball game to keep the game close. And I pride myself being able to do both of those.
It seems like you've been doing a lot more of these high leverage situations lately. That's got to be pretty exciting for you, huh?
Yeah, I love it, and I love any situation, I can get into in the big leagues, obviously, but bigger high leverage situations are always a little more fun, especially when you do well,
Hey, Jake, you said that you like being in those high leverage situations. Just this last week with some of the changes in the bullpen, I think Mike Matheny has said that guys are going to get thrown into some different spots. I mean, are you sort of looking forward to that? That you're going to be getting the ball potentially in the big moments.
Yeah, I mean, I did a little bit last year in August with Ned there for a couple weeks where I was thrown in there every other game, if not every game, in high leverage situations, 1-run, 2-run ball games where we had to keep the game there regardless if we needed to score to keep up or if we were ahead. So I think the goal doesn't change. You go in there trying to get outs, and you don't want anybody to score. So I try not to think too much of the score when I'm out there, and just try to pitch to my abilities.
Jake, what do you think's made you as effective as you've been in these last few outings, just over this stretch? What is it, you think?
Well, one, my slider's working. That helps. When you have one of those, that go-to pitch that you can trust in any count, in any situation. And I think just like I said, with kind of going back on what I did last year and knowing I have that capability to get through innings effectively, and I just need to be able to put forth this year. And I think to this far, I feel like I have, and I feel like the last 2 outings were more last year than the first few as far as where my velocity was and just as far as stuff was. I think that the last few days were a little more like last year.